I've had several people reach out about these presentations that I've been building and ask me how I do the presentations, and also have left me some comments. So I figured the best way to do that was just show you exactly how I do it step by step in this short video. So first, step one is simple. You need content. That's it. It could be a brain dump, a blog post, video transcript, articles from multiple sources, something you wrote, whatever you've got. The point is you need something real to work from. And now I know this might sound obvious, but stay with me because it actually matters more than people realize. That's because we need to do this before we move on to step two. This content needs to be in some kind of a usable form, either a script or solid outline with bullet points. It's very important. It doesn't have to be perfect, but it has to be coherent enough that an AI can read through it and actually understand what the actual presentation should be about, obviously. So you can use AI to help you pull it all together if you want. Obviously, you don't have to do this part manually. Just make sure that what you hand off for the next step is a real document or something with real information on it, not just a list of ideas or a bunch of links. And that's really all this first step is get your content together, the intention that you want to present from that content, and put it into a format like a doc that's ready to be worked with. So that is step one, right? This next step is very, very important, right? So now that you know what you're pulling from your content, it's time to actually hand that off to your AI tool of choice at this point. So you're going to feed it into that document or extensive list of the talking points that you gathered in the first step and ask it to do the editorial work for you. And what you're asking the AI to do at this point is just read through all of that information, break it up into logical segments. Now, each one of those segments is what becomes a slide. And then you give that information back for each segment, right? So for each segment or slide, you want a title, which is going to be the main idea of that slide. You can add an optional subtitle, which will add context or a hook or something like that. And also a few bullet points or the key talking points that you want for that segment or that slide. Here's the thing. You are not designing anything yet. You're not building slides. You're not doing anything like that. You're just getting a blueprint. And this blueprint is going to inform everything that comes after it. All right. And here's a little bonus tip. So while you're asking for those descriptions, right, you also want to ask your AI to include the transition points for your slides. So if you're recording a video first, which is how I usually do it in my videos, I ask for the ending sentence from the previous slide and the opening sentence for the current slide. That way I know exactly when I have to advance and transition the slides. If you're doing a live presentation, just ask for the natural closing point for each segment so you know when you've covered enough to move on to the next slide. And obviously, if you've done any presentations before, then you know exactly how to do this, right? So now we're going to go to step three. Now that you've got the blueprint with all those segments, with the titles, the subtitles, and talking points, this is where you hand it off to Claude. Right? And you're going to paste in those segment descriptions and give Claude a prompt that describes the style and design you want. And I'll provide a few different prompt versions in a Notion document that you can use as is or tweak it however you want, right? So when you send this prompt along with your descriptions, Claude is actually going to build you a working HTML file with all the designs and animations already baked in. So Claude will show you the preview on the right side of your screen, so you'll be able to preview the entire presentation right away before you move forward. And remember, you're not designing anything yourself. You're just describing what you want. And again, I've included this prompt so you can tweak this prompt how you want. And then Claude will actually build it. And the reason I prefer Claude for this is because so far from my tests, Claude seems to give me the best results for what I'm looking for, and also requires the least amount of revisions. So once we have that, we're going to move on to the next step, which is once Claude is finished building the HTML file, go through each slide. Look at the design, the animations, the text sizing. Does it all feel right? If everything looks good, you're done. Download the file and move to step 5. However, if something needs to change, tell Claude exactly what you want adjusted. Maybe you want different colors, a different font, or a slide feels weak, animations that need tweaking. Whatever it is, Claude will revise it and you can keep iterating until it looks exactly how you want it to look. And like I said a moment ago, most of the time the design Claude creates is solid and doesn't need much, but you might need one round of changes or maybe a few depending on your preferences and how much you want to actually change. Once you're done and satisfied with everything, you're just going to download that HTML file and you're going to open it up in your browser and it will display full screen just like any website. And you can use your arrow keys to advance through each slide just like any presentation. And from here, it's really entirely up to you how you want to use it. Screen record it like I do or present it live during a meeting or a speech. It's really, really up to you. This is really, the presentation is built now. Now you just have to decide how you want to present it, right? So, and that's honestly basically it. Play around with the prompts, the styles, the colors, or whatever you see, and see what you're able to do with it. Again, I'll include the prompts in the Notion document. And other than that, I hope this helps. And if you do have any questions, comments, or if you need any clarification on any of this, let me know in the comments. I'll respond back to them as quickly as I can. Again, I'll include the Notion doc linked in the description with the prompts I use and a full breakdown of everything that we covered in this video. But other than that, this is Craig. Thanks so much for watching. Keep rocking, and I'll see you on the next video. Take care.